Nice. How do you pronounce is? I-Z-Z-E? Izzy? Eyes? Is? After drinking like one thing primarily, or for like nearly my entire life, it is kind of fun now to try out a bunch of new non-caffeinated stuff. Yeah, Strat, I think you joined in initially on like the first or second one of those, didn't you?
Oh.
I'm gonna lay on my feet now, which is fine. You could do that. Yeah, it was like 4 hours each, but again, there was so much more going on in the first few hours of the game. I mean, and I guess I can't really blame the game from a design standpoint. That, yeah, I think so too. I think it was the first. I can't blame the game from a design standpoint of like slowly getting you used to it taking a while to do things and then really stretching that out, particularly when it gives you the option to speed up time in your home. Yeah, I think I remember you missing one there. If you're a regular viewer and you miss anything that you do want to check out, I do keep all of my VODs. And if you want to see them right away, they go up the night of. So if you ever missed my stream, like right afterward, you can see the VOD. Or if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, it's pretty much just a repository of everything that's on Twitch, just in case, to have a backup in two places. So I used my old YouTube channel, which is still the same as this channel too. It's youtube.com/offhandgames, but there I release them in an episodic way. So I chop everything into half-hour to 45-minute episodes and then upload them there. So they come out like once every 24 hours there, just to kind of stretch out the YouTube upload time so it doesn't look like I'm just dropping 50 videos every day. It's probably better for people to discover me that way anyway, but honestly 99% of anyone who watches anything that I do is coming through Twitch. So yeah, I thought that it might be a good way to do it. I don't know though if it's even as effective as it would have been 10 years ago. I did try to make YouTube content. Man, it is about 10 years ago now, through about 8 years ago. For a couple years there, I was making YouTube content. I was recording, editing, and uploading curated content on YouTube. And that was around the time that Nintendo really wasn't comfortable with Let's Plays of Nintendo content. So there was a lot of strikes against copyrighted Nintendo content and music, and even at one point I think that there was a worry that you could lose your ad revenue if even you had the sound of one of Mario's coins in the background, like they could detect it. That could have been paranoia at the time, but yeah, no, it was rough, and that was like some of my top content because I'm such a Nintendo fanboy. And so it just kind of started wearing on me a little bit, even though I did have a few hundred subscribers. I had a lot going on in my life at the time and just became too much to keep up with. So I kind of retired that for a while. And when I decided to come back and start streaming last year in January, I started, using that space to move everything over there. There are still a few hundred people that are subscribed there. A few people watch every video. So the coin noise was a thing. I heard people say that it was a thing. My thinking on it is that it's too short and that you really should abide by that like 20 seconds in order to help you determine if something is a significant amount of a chunk of music. But yeah. Oh, the random NES games? That was Let's Play NES, and I got over 100 games in I don't remember how many there are. Like 500 or 600, right? Let me see here. And I toyed around with bringing that back as a Twitch stream, but I don't know who's interested in watching old NES games repeatedly. I mean, there's a certain niche audience for that, but a lot of them are speedrunners, and I'm not a speedrunner by any means. I was actually trying to... we'll see, I'm going in multiple directions here first. So if you Google it, it says 1,380, but I think I was going off of like US only games and some other criteria. That's true. Nintendo do have their own rules, and I guess I'm thankful that they've kind of lightened them recently, because they realize the value of having reviewers and streamers out there, because they really do sell more products when people can check them out. Like, so many people bought Animal Crossing. Tons of people are streaming it right now. Guaranteed fewer people would be buying it if no one was streaming it. But I digress. So yeah, the Let's Play NES, the come on, bud. Say bye-bye. So the thinking behind it was that imagine if you went to a yard sale or a flea market and you picked up a game that you'd never played before for the NES, no box, no instruction manual. You picked up, DuckTales for the NES. And so you go home, you plug it in, you play it, and it's the first 10 to 15 minutes of your experience of playing this game. He's back. Of playing this game. No, you gotta get down. I feel like he'll only need me to do that a couple times and he'll get tired of climbing. It's your first 10 or 15 minutes experience playing this new game that you've never played before, possibly. Thoughts on the art, thoughts on the music, thoughts on the gameplay, thoughts on how well the game does with letting you figure out the controls on your own, or if it provides you with any tutorial, which is super rare back then, probably for memory constraint reasons as well. But yeah, so it was just me talking about like, what it was like. And then a few of them that we came across were games that I had played before. And so I would just talk about my own experience with playing it as a child, or playing it at some point after growing up and then realizing how different it was. Hey, little odd, how's it going? So yeah, that was he's back. That was that series, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and I really did commit to that challenge for the longest time. I had a video a day for the better part of a year, I believe, on that series. Oh, he's going up even higher on his tower. But yeah, so there was that one. There was also a series that I did called the Iron Mario Challenge, and that one was to play every Mario game. One sec. He's got a toy here. Come on. It actually kind of works here. He gets... Come on, bud. But yeah, so it was to take every Mario game, and there were some criteria for that too. It was games that Mario was in, and it's like a ghost cat. So it had Donkey Kong. I think I started with Donkey Kong. I didn't want to go with ones that he just made a cameo in necessarily, so I didn't include like NES Golf or Tennis or any of those that he's just kind of in. But I think I did want to include like Dr. Mario. So like games where either he's the protagonist or a major part of the game. I found his toy. Would play all the way through them from beginning to end on the series. So I had like hour-long episodes, because a lot of them get very difficult towards the end. Of course, there were plenty that I had played hundreds of times, like the original Mario series, Super Mario World, things like that. But then when you play through like Super Mario All-Stars and you go through the lost levels and stuff, like going through that, and another commitment was no warps. I don't think that I broke that rule. I don't remember, though. It's been a long time. But yeah, it was just like to check out every single stage to get like the whole Mario experience. So, you know, we're talking playing through Super Mario Brothers 1 through 8-4, all 32 or however many stages there were in that. Even the RPG. So that was going to be on the list. We were coming up around that point when the series ended. I got up through Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart. And yeah, I even included Mario Kart, and I think that was the last one that we did, but we played a good dozen Mario games, I believe, up to that point, including the Game Boy, Super Mario Land and Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. We played through all of those. I put a rainbow filter on, no, haven't fished yet. Put a rainbow filter on the Game Boy emulator so that it would gradually change color, because it really was just that grayscale Game Boy, or I guess, you know, Game Boy's green, but just that black and white kind of style. So I just had it gradually change through colors while we were playing, just very, very slowly. But if you fast forward through the video, you can see it changing between all the different colors in the spectrum. So we've got to be just about to the door now. I can't imagine we're too far away. We've been walking back for a while. I think we turned around, let's see, 19. We went in for about 12 minutes, 13 minutes, something like that. So it put us at 21 plus 12. 2. We went further than I thought. I will not be playing Red Dead for a while. It's not on my current list. If you're only specifically talking about fishing in Red Dead. I know you ask me that one every once in a while, but I just won't be playing Red Dead for a little while. Yes. The best answer to that question is yes. This is just a waiting game. I wouldn't say it's just a waiting game, but it is a game about waiting. Like the whole overarching premise of this game is waiting. And you know, there's 400 days that you have to wait, give or take how long you speed up time in your home and how long you spend in the Hall of Eternity, where the time doesn't actually tick down at all. But yeah, I feel like it was 9 after when we came in. I guess it could have been 19 after. I don't even know anymore. I've lost all sense of time in this place, which I guess is the point. It goes by a lot faster when you're picking up cool stuff, and then you realize how far in you are. It's kind of like driving, or no, a better one. It's kind of like hiking. You drive your car out, you park your car at whatever national park, and you go hiking up into the hills. You better have a good idea. Oh, lag spike. You better have a good idea of how much hiking you want to do. Divide that by 2 and stop at least at that halfway point, because you're gonna have to walk back unless you get life flighted out of a canyon. And there's no life flight in the longing. But no, there's more stuff to do than just wait. But most of the things that you do involve some level of waiting. And it really, I keep trying to think of different ways to say this, because I feel like I say it on every stream, which is fine, especially if there are new people who haven't seen this yet. But it is an exercise in patience, in that it is it's so drawn out, but not, I don't want to say it's not artificially drawn out. It's literally artificially drawn out, in that it is a digital product that makes you wait on things, but there's some philosophy in it So so it is like there's meaning to the time. We're still trying to figure out how to go about we're still trying to figure out how to go about finding our way out, but yeah. I'd like to think that the stream's not entirely drawn out. Hey, there's the door. Let's show ourselves out. Don't let the echoes of eternity kick us in the butt on the way out. So we came out of there. You know what? Forgive me. We're gonna go back in for like 1 minute. Well, 2 minutes. We're gonna go back in, walk for just 1 minute, see if we can get a book. I really want to try. He might know how to run. We've kind of talked about what the Shade knows how to do and doesn't know how to do before. He just has no incentive to run because he's already got to wait for so long. He might as well just leisurely do everything. Like when he's about to mine something that takes a while with the Matic, when he's about to pick away at a wall, he's like, I'm not the strongest person in the world, but I've got nothing but time. Tink, tink, and he hits it like 100 times. I just want to see if leaving and coming back in resets it, or if we have to like wait a day or something for it to get reset. So I've got a timer over here that I'm watching. I'm not going to let it go much more than a minute. And we'll just turn right back around. I mean, we're kind of close. He's got books. And if you think about it, without much technology, a book is about as good of a thing as you could possibly get to pass some time. Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe we can't just go in and out like that right away. So we're not going to keep walking. 10 more seconds if nothing peeks around the corner here. That's true. I do skim through the pages like a madman, but we do get to see the time pass for him very, very quickly up here. Mr. Miyagi may not, I mean, you know what? I was going to say he may not approve of the game since we have to keep putting him down, but honestly, he got some snuggles, which he wouldn't normally get when we're playing another game. We would totally include him, and I would totally put his bed like right here if he wouldn't just keep climbing out onto the keyboard. Maybe one day. Maybe one day he'll learn. Maybe I'll try to train him in between streams. I do, yeah, I had a Sprite earlier, so now I've got a sparkling clementine flavored juice beverage. I still wonder what the pronunciation is. In fact, this will be the second pronunciation I've looked up tonight. IZ. Pronounced. No, Izzy. Izzy. It says pronounced and then it says IZ-EE. But like, how's the I pronounced? Anyway, I guess it's Izzy. It's an Izzy Clementine beverage. The sprite theme that has no theme because it's the ghost can that is green against the green screen. You know, I could maybe do something fun here while we're walking back out. I mean, he is going home. It's gonna take him a minute anyway. Let's see if I can go to the cam here. Yeah, this looks. No, we have to go to the filters. turn off the chroma key. Ah! So there's the green. But also, you can kind of see the black gradient. Or no, you can't. Wait, let's do this. Image mask. So you can see the edge of my green screen. But I put on a black gradient around it that then goes to transparent in the filters. So that's just to keep things, you know, nice and, you know, fading out instead of just cutting off sharp, which I think looks a little bit nicer. And then we put on the chroma key. And there it is. I share my office with my wife, and I don't think that she would like to have like a nuclear green wall behind us. Even though, I mean, she streams as well, but I don't think she'd like to have the nuclear green wall. I say she wouldn't be the one with the problem with it. Like, we would both be like, ugh, what is that wall? But yeah, the feathered edges, I think it works a lot better. It looks a lot, I mean, you still fade out and disappear, but yeah, it's just nicer. It's a pill, Dr. Mario. Move some of this stuff back. So now we've got like, what, 9 or 10 pieces of paper, a carpet, and a single book. Your streamer friend built a room within the room, painted it chroma key green. Interesting. Hey, little odd, we have a few people chatting tonight, so maybe go easy on just the straight emotes. Yeah, no, I mean, I've thought about it. You know, I've thought about like the different options. Of course, when I first started streaming, if you go back and watch the VODs and like go all the way back in time, they're all in chronological order. So if you go like all the way down to the bottom, you'll find like my first stream, I streamed RimWorld and I didn't have a camera on. And I knew that I didn't want to stream without a camera. It was just my setup. I was testing my like audio and my screen capture. And then later that week or the next week, I streamed a segment. I think it was right when. Now I can't even remember the name of the game. It's on my desktop still, I'm sure. 2 seconds. Or not. I must have dropped it into a folder already. Which one was it? Apex Legends. Yeah. I know it's super popular. I just haven't played it since. I streamed Apex Legends on the day that it released just to check it out. Streamed with some friends. And I actually had some fun, but I had a camera on and it was like a camera and I was in a super empty office at the time. So there's like nothing behind me, just like 12 feet and then a white wall. So at that point I knew I wanted to get like the portable green screen, put that up behind me and the rest is history. Yeah. It was kind of like the White Hall. It would be like streaming from the Hall of Eternity. Yeah, please try not to lag out the stream or do anything like that. Let's try to keep chat to relevant conversation and not full of emotes. Feel free to include emotes that are relevant to what you're saying, and then those emotes will appear on the screen. But I just don't want like paragraphs of, you know, a whole bunch of random emotes or a whole bunch of intentional emotes. We just want to cut down on that. I find that it drives some people away from wanting to chat if the chat's just full of spam. Yeah, I love spicy food too. Kind of random, but no, I just can't eat it. Like I can, but I can't. Like it does really do a number on my stomach. So I have to know that I have no plans for the next day, and then I could eat something spicy if I wanted. I for the longest time I loved spicy food, but then just eventually I started having stomach aches and cramps and thought I might have an ulcer. and found out that it was spicy food that was doing it to me. And then now that I've cut back, I can have the occasional slightly spicy thing. Can't eat something super hot. I'm getting older, man. Hey, Cole. Right in our path. Yes, time to walk back home. There you go. Spicy food equals no plans equals the longing stream. You know, yes and no, right? Because while I don't have any plans, per se, with other people, it gives you some very critical and immediate needs that you can't exactly stream during. Yeah, you'd probably eat anyway. I thought the same thing. I ate it anyway for a little while because I was in denial that the spicy food was really what was the cause. I was like, surely it's sugar or caffeine or fat or peanuts or other things that could be allergies. But one thing at a time, I just tried cutting out, and turns out it was spicy stuff. I still feel like there's like the fact that he goes behind this to the king, like behind the throne, but we tried to walk past that and couldn't do anything. That's true. You could auto walk in this game. Try the same in Apex and you'd be dead in 2, or find the right place to hide in Apex and you come back and your team won for you. No, bud. No. I know, and they love you too. Can't walk on a keyboard. No. If you stay right there, I'll pet you. Like, I should maybe work out something that he could like come like right here and hang out, but he just gets very up-ons, which is very cute when we're not streaming, but like he'll rub his head on the mic and like knock it out of the way and step on the keyboard, and we have to try to strike the right balance. So what do we want to do first? I guess we want to draw first. I'll let you guys decide. I try to stretch out both my arms if I would miss my hands. Probably, like, well, one arm goes off camera if I stretch this way. Stretch one up and one forward. Ghost hands. So yeah, so we need to... We don't need to, I guess, but we should draw. We have one that's all 5 colors, and it's this or here between stay or leave. Let's do the other 8 5-color ones, and then 2 more. What do you guys think? The cat emote. Let me actually. I think I gave her credit below the stream. Let me double check. If I didn't, I need to add that in. Few seconds. No, I haven't done it yet. I will. You can go back on my Twitter and you can see where I gave her credit as well. But it's a new friend of mine, Betsy, who was recommended to me by a mutual friend, and her art is amazing. Let me actually pull up her Twitter here and I can recommend her. At Stealth Checks on Twitter. She's been doing some Animal Crossing art recently. But yeah, she does amazing work. I guess we should start on the art. And since we're doing all these, we don't necessarily need to pick. So we'll pick stay to start with. You know, We should have lit a fire. We'll do that next. I guess you can pause. Let's pause. Also the new carpet. It looked very flat and gray when we found it. Don't make a smelly fire. Alright, this should go by a bit faster now. Time is going by 12 seconds at a time. 12 to 13 seconds at a time, so we're like 12.5 right now. I think we should put as much as we can over here to the left, because then we can move down the stairs and drag it down if we want. And then we can move some paintings down towards the bottom of our home. We did hit 9 o'clock already, didn't we? Central. We'll do our paintings first, and then we'll call it a night for the longing and switch over to another game. I'm wondering if speedrunning would be possible. It would be really funny to get like 300 days in. Oh no, I made a mistake. Better start over. Reset the timer. No. I want to grab this. Let me grab the painting. Don't turn off the water. Turn it back on. There we go. Back to the drawings. The long ending, 20 minutes? I don't know. I wouldn't want to know how they did it, because that would be a spoiler at this point. Stay or leave. I think we've pretty much committed to leaving now. Like I was saying earlier, I want to figure out how we can escape. We have to overcome our darkness. I hesitate to even delve into the types of metaphors that this game could be for until after we already know where it ends. Then I can make a good judgment on whether or not it's a metaphor for something. The timer at the top is how many days left there are. It is ticking down. Yeah, leave has him in the light. Stay has him with a crown? Is that what we're seeing here? Now that I think about it, like, would he become the king? The king is supposed to bring an end to things. Our next one will be night. Yeah, I would imagine that we would beat the game sooner than later, probably, because the game speeds up. The more comfy you make your house, the more art you put in it. Right now, when we're not playing, it's at 9 times speed. So we would already win. We would already reach the end of the date counter in like 33 days. But this art that we're doing is going to speed it up even more. And the time that we play and we burn fires and play music and read books, we burn off even more time. So right now we're painting We painted stay or leave. We already had or. But we painted stay, leave. This is night. So there's night and day. We might just. Most of these are very abstract. This one's almost done. Let's walk down and move some of our paintings down further into. I keep wanting to say our apartment. It is kind of an apartment. Okay, let's put that there. Let's pick up the coal. Walk over here. Sit down for a sec. And just take a moment to move some of these paintings down and get some more space. So our clown friend can go down here. Our sad self, I think that one's called me, that can go down here. Move all these down here too. These don't really line up with the colors, but... And we could go ahead and move these as well. Get the mouse on them. There we go. That way we just have more room for the ones that we're yet to paint in a moment. So stay or leave, and we'll do night and day right below that, I guess. Maybe it'll stick out to the right some. Oh no, we moved our rug. Okay, we'll put a rug down here. If you had to wait this long for something, probably sleep. He can't sleep. I mean, maybe he can, but he wants to make a bed, but we're missing one piece of wood. And I'm just thinking, like, take your table apart. Put 3 rugs on your table, there's your bed. So, oh, versus night versus day. I do wonder if the 5-color art is considered more attractive and so then gives you a better bonus or not. Why make a PlayStation when you can make a PC? It's true. With enough time, he could probably figure it out. One of my favorite things that somebody pondered on once, and I don't remember who said it, was that microprocessors are amazing because really they're just rocks that we trick to think. Crayons. Well, I mean, he's like, now you think about it, it's like 5 different like minerals. Like he's got coal, I forget what the white is, sulfur. I didn't even know you could draw with lapis lazuli. And then the red, I don't remember if that was like that wasn't a ruby. You can't draw with a ruby either. You cut your paper. I don't remember what they were when we picked it up. We'll just kind of cram this over here for now. We'll pick a better place for it in a bit. Pick up coal. Pick it up. There you go. Day. Does it say when we mouse over them? Oh. It said it when we picked them up, though. The horse head, I wish there was more to do with the horse head too. Like when we found that, it was so weird. And then it just went here. And it ticked off one of his, you know, desires to have somebody he could look at. I mean, I guess you can look him in the eye. Why not just mine the king? Not sure what you mean there. Fire's burning a little low. Oh, mine the king, like literally mine the king. That would be fun. You can only do what the game lets you do with your action commands, like right when you're near the thing that you can interact with. We don't have any interactions near the king aside from trying to wake him up, though I've been told that that is also just the shade will say it's not the time, so I haven't bothered. What would we get from the king anyway if we mined him? He looks like he's made of wood. We would get the one piece of wood that we need for the bed. Just take his fingernail, make the headboard out of it. All right, I'm feeling a little adventurous. So here's what we do. We finish our paintings, drawings, we read the book, and if we're still not under 300, I will light a sulfur fire and we'll see if he walks to a place. No, I'm not going back to the White Hall tonight. We got to switch over to the other game at some point. It would be a king-size bed. Da-dum-tsh. There's... Oh, we can put it way over here. Time to surprise us with a stinky fire. And then what I'll do is I will follow back up and make sure he gets home once that sulfur fire's burned out. Even if that's in the middle of the day tomorrow, I'll move him back at some point. So he'll be back here burning away the most time possible between streams. So we will get to pick a couple more pieces of art. I think the math worked out that we would still have 1 or 2 pieces of paper. I think it was 2. So I'll let you guys pick once we pull them up, which pieces of art we should do. He doesn't want to sniff the sulfur. He's got nothing but time to waste. So why bother wasting it in a stinky place when he could just go chill out there somewhere? Time 2's almost done. There we go. The last one of the 5 colors, time 3. Holy cow, we're ticking off 15 seconds at a time right now. The fire's about to burn off, so we don't have a fire when we're not playing, at least not after it burns out. You have to manually light that, so that's only a while you're playing bonus, really. With only 300 days to waste, you could think of some cooler paintings. I think that his paintings are like a little deeper than someone would start with. Right, like he's already got like an idea of these concepts for these art pieces, which also I think lends to the fact that he's come from somewhere, as opposed to him just being created. Because otherwise, I feel like he would be a little bit more naive and he would draw more like stick figures or something like that. Yeah. All right. We got 2 more. You guys let me know what you think. Let's do a 4-color one. So first off, pick 4 colors. I'm gonna take the first suggestion, at least for this first one. Pick 4 colors.